Last episode, we started our ascent up the table, beating arch rivals Liverpool along the way, but today, with the January transfer window about to open, we've got some very big decisions to make. And as ever, if you're enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe, and let's get into today's episode. Now, with this being 16 games into the Premier League campaign so far, but now just 4 points off of Nottingham Forest in the final European spots, I'm feeling pretty positive heading into the second half of the season. And with just a matter of weeks until we make it into the start of January and the start of the second half of the season, we are hit with some big news, as not only is Vitaly Mykolenko subject to a £12 million bid from West Ham United, but our centre-back James Tarkowski is subject to a £12.6 million bid from our arch-rivals Liverpool. Now, having fallen out of favour at the club at left-back and with his spot in the starting 11 being taken by the 18-year-old Yerel Hato, Vitaly Mykolenko made it abundantly clear that he wanted to leave the club on a permanent basis. And whilst James Tarkowski had a pretty decent season in our first season here in this career mode, he has been displaced by Mark Gay at the back, and with Jared Branthwaite only being 22 and already up to a 79 rating, it is these two that I see being the foundations of my defence moving forward, much to the dismay of the 32-year-old Englishman, who, much like his Ukrainian counterpart on the left-hand side of our defence, is absolutely furious and has demanded to leave the club as well. And so, bearing in mind we've only got £3 million left remaining in our transfer budget, despite our arch-rivals Liverpool being the only team that had come in for my centre-back James Tarkowski, I did put the question to you as to whether or not I should look to sell Mykolenko by himself, James Tarkowski by himself, whether I should keep them both at the club for the foreseeable future, or if I should just call it a day, have enough, and get rid of the pair of them in one foul swoop. And the overwhelming majority of you made your feelings clear, suggesting that I sell both of them to try and recoup as much money as I possibly can ahead of the January transfer window. And so, after being able to renegotiate a slightly better deal with Jurgen Klopp, I've managed to bump up James Tarkowski's transfer sum to £14.7 million, and Mykolenko is the second man to depart as he leaves for West Ham, once again in a slightly improved transfer sum of £14.1 million. And after drawing 2-2 at home against Leicester City, frustratingly getting beaten 2-1 by Arsenal courtesy of a late Martinelli goal in the 82nd minute, the pair of them end their Everton careers on a slightly more positive note, as back in the starting 11 we managed to beat Crystal Palace for our first win of the episode as we beat them 2-1 at Goodison Park. Now, whilst their departures have raised our transfer budget now up to a much healthier £26 million, their departures have left some rather large holes in my squad, and whilst Yerel Hato is showing great potential and at 18 years of age is going to be the cornerstone at the left-hand side of my defence for the foreseeable future, with Mykolenko departing, it does leave him as the only man who can play on that side. And with Mark Gay and Branthwaite now being the only two centre-backs who are senior players at the club, we definitely need to bring someone in to replace James Tarkowski as well. Now, with Nathan Patterson still only being rated 76 and not really progressing at the level that I was hoping him to, and with Brian Williams only rated 65 and likewise not progressing at the rate of knots that I was hoping, once again I was trying to see and was hoping in the January transfer window I could focus my attention on trying to improve this right back position. But despite the sale of those two players, with me having only £26 million left to spend, I don't really think I'm going to be able to make wholesale changes to my defence in this transfer window. Now, bearing in mind the likes of Yerel Hato, Mark Gay and Jared Branthwaite are all going to be the cornerstones of my defence for the foreseeable future and are all of a young age and have so much room to grow and develop, I kind of don't really want to bring in any more senior players who are going to potentially jeopardise their development and jeopardise their place in the starting 11. So in the interest of me trying to be a little bit more creative and trying to save a little bit more money for a more important position in the team, and so I've decided that my first port of call is to raid the free transfer market for a left back. And whilst I don't necessarily want to bring in an absolute superstar, I would ideally still like to bring in someone who's experienced enough, who's got experience playing in European football, and ideally has a little bit of experience playing in the Premier League as well. And so that is why I've turned to a Frenchman who's got over 100 appearances for PSG and has also made some appearances in the Premier League for Fulham, as Levin Kurzawa joins Everton Football Club on a free transfer. Now, at just 72 rated, he's not exactly going to be pulling up trees this season, but with him still offering a fairly respectable 72 overall rating, and with him being 32 years of age, I think he can be potentially the perfect mentor for the youngster Yerel Hato, and can be the perfect backup as Yerel Hato looks to cement himself as a top quality left back, I should say, in the Premier League for this season and the remainder of the career mode. Now, with it being fairly slim pickings when looking for a more senior and experienced centre-back on the free transfer market, I've decided to change tact and perhaps look for someone who's a little bit younger and a little bit less developed and slightly more raw, who can try and hone his craft at Everton Football Club for the foreseeable future. And that is why I've turned to the 22-year-old Senegalese centre-back who's racked up just under 80 appearances for Le Havre in the French league, as Arouna Zanganta joins Everton Football Club for £5.2 million. Now, just like Kurzawa, he's not exactly a signing that's going to pull up any trees this season, but with him being 22 years of age, he still has room to grow and develop. He's not going to upset the cartel and upset the starting centre-backs in Jared Branthwaite and to Mark Gay, and he still does have some opportunity, hopefully this season, in the likes of the FA Cup, to try and see if he can stake a claim and try and improve his position at Everton Football Club. Now, whilst I definitely think defence is going to be an area of my team that I'm going to want to try and strengthen in the summer transfer market when this season ends, getting rid of 2 reserve players for a combined fee of £28.8 million and replacing them with 2 more reserve players for a combined fee of just £5.2 million, it leaves me with £20 million still left in my budget to make one more big signing this January. Now, last season, the departures of Dan Juma and Mudryk on the left-hand side of my midfield did leave a gaping hole in their absence, and it's a role that Dwight McNeil has had to fill this season, even though he is more naturally suited to playing on the right-hand side of midfield, and bearing in mind he couldn't even get a look in my starting 11 last season. And it's a role that Cesar Huerta has tried to fill in now and again this season, but with 12 appearances in all competitions and just 1 assist to his name, he hasn't exactly had much of an impact that I was hoping for this season. And so, after bringing in the likes of Johan Bakayoko to play on the right-hand side of midfield, bringing in the likes of Mikael Damsgaard to play in the hole behind the striker, left midfield does seem like the only other attacking position that I need to make some reinforcements with. And what a player we have decided to bring in. A man who has been long touted for a move to the Premier League after a successful campaign at Celtic. He decided to choose the money and go out to Saudi Arabia to play for Al Ittihad, but instead now he's decided to change his mind, make his move to the Premier League finally after years of speculation. Yes, that's right, it is that man Jota, the Portuguese winger who has come in for £17.9 million. And what a signing this man is. He's got that something special and he's got the stats to back it up. Incredible skill moves, incredible weak foot, he's got lightning pace and he's got great stats right across the board. He will come in and immediately replace Dwight McNeil on the left hand side of my midfield, and he's going to get the opportunity to impress almost immediately as we are heading out in front of our own fans at Goodison Park to face off in an almighty challenge in his debut against the Manchester Giants, Manchester United, in what is going to be a titanic clash here at Goodison Park. And as you can see, he's not the only man who's going to be making his starting debut for Everton here today, as Zangarte will come in at the heart of my defence to displace a fatigued Mark Gay who drops to the bench as he partners Branthwaite in the centre of defence. So here we go then, a big game and a big opportunity for 2 of my new signings to show the Everton faithful straight away what they can do, and Dele Alli is the man who straight away puts a challenge in, and now Jota will get his first opportunity to try and drive down the left hand side, cuts it back, a lovely ball into the path of Hato, and I've got to be hoping that those 2 will form a formidable partnership down the left hand side. And Onana has it, and Onana strikes straight at the goalkeeper, and Bakayoko just couldn't get there, but it's a brilliant start here from Everton inside the opening 5 minutes. And Sheeny for United tries to dink it over to the left hand side into Davies. Really nicely done. Bakayoko chases him down, putting some early pressure on this United defence. Exactly what I'd like to see here at Goodison Park. Mason Mount, though, into Baldanzi. He goes out to the left-hand side to Marcus Rashford, blocked off by Bakayoko, but it falls kindly to Alphonso Davies, who cuts it back. Now Rashford has it once again. Zangarte will come across, and he does just enough. Good defending. Jota again is getting involved and plays a nice ball into Onana. Onana tries to shape into the centre of the park, and he's done a really good job of driving through into Beto. Beto turns nicely and strikes it low. Onana with a good save. Been a really good start so far in the opening 20 minutes. End-to-end stuff here at Goodison Park as Bakayoko's going to throw it in. Look at the head of Dele Alli. Alphonso Davies manages to get there first, and Zangarte with the head. Oh, he just puts it wide. So close to a goal on his debut, and he will be absolutely devastated. A lofted corner in. He managed to get up ahead of the defender, and it just trickled past the post. So unlucky. He was just inches away from a goal on his debut. Martinez to try and bring it out of defence now. Davies out to Rashford on the left-hand side. Bakayoko, though, with a brilliant challenge, and now James Garner can release Beto. Has Beto got any options in the box? He doesn't seem to have any at the moment, but checks it back into the path of Dele Alli, who strikes it straight at the goalkeeper. And Manchester United are living on a knife edge here. Bruno Fernandes for United. Lovely pass into Rasmus Højlund. It's Mason Mount back to Højlund. Nice little one-touch into Baldanzi. Over to, I think it was Anthony who was on the right-hand side, but it was a good challenge yet again. And now we can try and bring the ball away with James Garner into the feet of Beto. Beto's going to look for the overlapping run of Bakayoko down the right-hand side, and he's unmarked here. And now he can try and drive into the box. The left-back is frantically trying to come across to cover him. He's done a good enough job. Bakayoko running out of space and running out of options, but instead manages to cut it back into the path of Patterson. He finds Onana, who strikes and just puts it wide. Down the line into Anthony. Bruno Fernandes now has it for Manchester United, gives it away to Dele Alli though, and Dele Alli is looking for the run of Bakayoko, just can't turn it around the corner as Davies has got too much pace. So it was a really, really good opening 45 minutes for Everton, it must be said. Both debutants making a good impression in their first 35 minutes in an Everton shirt, but frustratingly we couldn't unlock a stubborn Manchester United defence. We've got to hope that we can make a change to that as the second half begins. Here Hato takes it down, looking for an option in the centre of the park and only find Branthwaite. Both of my centre midfielders are being marked out of the game so far, so we go all the way out wide to Patterson into Bakayoko. Really nice stuff here. The Belgian's going to look for the overlap, finds the overlap. Patterson throws it in, looking for the head of Jota, who just heads it over the bar. Jordan Pickford. Short pass into Zangante, who's been very, very good so far in his debut. Not shown any nerves whatsoever. He's been a real rock at the heart of my defence. And Bakayoko has been a rock down the right-hand side, and he's just taken out by Martinez. How on earth was that not a foul? At least a yellow card. But why word, Manchester United getting away with murder then? Bruno Fernandes has come deep to try and see if he can get on the ball here and spark some life into a pretty lacklustre Manchester United so far. But Beto has won the ball back high and the Manchester United defenders are all over the place. And he says, thank you very much, and Beto makes it look easy and gives us a 1-0 lead in the 70th minute of the game. United have been pretty poor so far, it must be said, and the centre-back lost the ball in a really dangerous position, and the other ones just didn't chase back quick enough. Beto clean through on goal. The goalkeeper did manage to get a touch on it, but the strike was too powerful, too strong, and he drilled it into the back of the net anyway. Everton lead 1-0. Martinez again now being chased down this time by Dele Alli. It's Rashford who has it though, and he goes central into Bruno Fernandes, who finds Baldanzi again. United looking to make an immediate response here, but Mason Mount is blocked off by Branthwaite, and now Bakayoko can release the goal scorer Beto yet again, and Beto now is going to turn around the corner and look for a wonderful ball out to Jota on the left hand side, and Jota has options in the box. He finds Dele Alli, who gets the shot all wrong. A brilliant piece of defending in the end. Could the cross have been stronger? It must be said. He could have done better, and I would have expected him to do better in that position, but a big miss and a big opportunity that goes begging to give us a 2-0 lead. James Garner down the line into Patterson. We are all over them here. It's a wonderful ball into Jota, who makes amends for his earlier mistake with the cross to give himself a brilliant debut goal here in the 80th minute and to give us our second goal of the game. Well, once again, we won the ball back high, and Patterson with a fabulous ball in the box, and Jota at the back post just ghosted in completely unmarked. And look at this for a first time finish on the volley. Sent the goalkeeper the wrong way and sent his strike into the back of the net to give us a 2-0 lead here at Goodison Park. Martinez once again being chased down by Bakayoko, but manages to wriggle away from it. Your Manchester United at the moment, they can't live with this Everton press. They can't get out of their own half here. This is absolutely brilliant, and this is exactly what I would want from Dele Alli. He doesn't really have any support though, and he hasn't got the pace to go alone, so instead waits for the overlapping run of Jota. Jota tried to play it into Beto unselfishly, but Dele Alli picks up the rebound, gets the shot all wrong, blazes it over the bar, but it does not matter because the referee blows for full time. A huge game, a huge result, and one that Rasmus Højlund cannot believe that he has witnessed here today. I salute the support of the Everton fans. That man Jota will take the plaudits. 2 attempts on goal, 1 goal to his name on his debut. As it finishes here, Everton 2, Manchester United 0. Well, what a way to mark your first game in an Everton shirt. It was the exact sort of impact that I was hoping for from the 25-year-old Portuguese, and it was the exact result we needed to bring us just 3 points away from the final Champions League spot as we chase down Newcastle in 4th place. And we follow it up with a big win in the FA Cup as Dele Alli gets on the scoresheet twice as we beat Bournemouth 2-1. And the wins just keep on coming as Beto gets on the scoresheet twice. Dele Alli again gets a late goal as we beat Leeds United 3-1 away from home. And with those 2 results leading us very nicely on to our final game of this episode, we host Fulham in the Premier League once again at Goodison Park. And once again, there is only one change to my usual starting 11. Zangante starts yet again after a promising performance as he replaces Branthwaite, who with a little bit of fatigue drops to the bench. So here we go then. Can we make it 4 wins on the bout here as we try and see if we can get one past Fulham? It will be a brilliant episode if we can do the damage, and it will be a brilliant introduction to life in Everton colours for the likes of Jota up front. And that, speaking of up front, is a wonderful ball to one of my attackers, Bakayoko, who just dances around the challenge of one of the Fulham defenders, throws it into the box, looking for James Garner. A big save from Leto. It's brought back into the box by Jota, and in the end, Garner couldn't get on the end of it, and Fulham somehow escaped with the ball. Diop for Leeds United. It's been a fairly tame and quiet opening 30 minutes here at Goodison Park, as neither team is able to break the deadlock after that early opportunity that we did have, but we didn't take advantage. But we're going to try and see if we can this time around. Bakayoko has the opportunity to bring it forward. Gets the pass all wrong. He was caught in two minds, trying to feed it in between the lines of Onana and Beto. Doesn't do a very good job, but this man Jota does do a very good job of winning the ball back, driving into the box, looking for an option, finds James Garner. He lines up a strike. It's well blocked by the Leeds defenders, kept alive though by Zangante. Onana again into Yorel Hato, who drives into the box. Hato to cut it back into Beto, who strikes. It deflects away for a corner. Well, we've been pretty much all over Fulham so far. They haven't even had a single opportunity as it's thrown into the head of Jota. It's Zangante, the other new man in an Everton shirt, to pick it up, and Bakayoko will try and throw it back in, looking for the head of Beto. It's just too high, and finally Fulham will clear their lines once again. Hato into Beto, lovely little one touch into Jota. Jota takes it onto his right, shapes up here. Is he going to try and strike? Yes, he is. Oh, what a strike, what a save. It's another corner here, and it's this time it's going to be James Garner who's going to throw it in, looking for the header, Mark Gay, and that is the opener that we so desperately needed. Our captain, Mark Gay, with a thumping header, just looped it over the goalkeeper, and he beats him to make it 1-0 Everton Football Club. It was a brilliant corner from James Garner, right on the money, but Gay still had so much to do. What a looping header, right over the defence and right over the outstretched arms of a goalkeeper who was diving as high as he possibly could, but it still was not enough. A wonderful header and a wonderful way to give us a 1-goal lead. Well, right on the stroke of half-time, what a time for us to score, and what impact is that going to have on the two teams as we start the second half. Garnacho for Fulham to drive down this right-hand side. He's got the beating of Patterson. And what on earth was that from the former Manchester United man? He got it all wrong, but somehow he's managed to find his way back. And now he drives into the penalty area. It's going to be Gay who's going to try and stop him. He does do enough. Trufer tries to throw it in. Zangante with a good header away, proving yet again that he was an inspired signing. It's now Paulinho, though, who picks it up. And Fulham are in the ascendancy at the beginning of this half. But James Garner, the assist maker from the first half, wins the ball back. And now Bakayoko can release Damsgaard. He finds a ball into Beto. And Beto drives into the penalty area, and it's just that touch that he gets all wrong. He brought it too far ahead of him, and in the end it was easy for Leno to get hold of. Mark Gay's being chased down here, does enough though to wiggle his way away from the challenge, and Onana now can bring it into the centre, into James Garner. James Garner finds a ball into Beto. Beto's just straight offside. That is two really, really good opportunities for us within about 5 minutes, neither of which we could take. And we've got to hope that we do not live to regret that one, as Iwobi now tries to bring it forward. Good challenge from Hato, and now Jota is released down the left-hand side. And speaking of being released, he tried to release Beto. St. Just read it well, though. Castagna goes back inside for St. Just, but he gives it away to Jota, and now Jota has got clean air and green grass to run into here, down this left-hand side. It looks like Damsgaard's in the box. Can he find him? No, he can't. St. Just is in the way again, but Damsgaard wins it back, plays it across, looking for Bakayoko, and St. Just, once again, what terrific defending from the young man. Going to be a corner here that Dwight McNeil on as a substitute for Bakayoko is going to take. He's going to throw it in, looking for the head of Onana, doesn't manage to find him, will get it back again, throws it back in, and St. Just, once again, what a defensive performance from that man. Maybe he's someone I might want to consider on my transfer list at the start of next season. Prefer with the throw for Fulham. Just under 10 minutes remaining in this game. It's now or never, really, for the West London club if they're going to try and hope to get back into this game and get back on level terms. But at the moment, they can't quite get out of their own half here as we are pressing them so high. Dele Alli on as a sub. Almost won the ball back from St. Just, but he played it back to the goalkeeper. Cool, calm and collected. And James Garner wins it now and plays it into Jota. This man has had such an impact since joining in January. And look at this. He just drives into the box, plays it across. St. Just again. He's been an absolute monster at the back. He has saved several surefire goals here for Fulham, and he's kept them in this game. But how much longer can he keep a minute for as Dwight McNeil fires a ball back over to the back post, headed away though by Trufer. Reed wins it back, hacks it clear. Patterson will take the throw. We are well and truly in the ascendancy as the referee blows for full time. Well, it's another game and it's another win. It's our fourth on the bounce in this episode. Mark Gay, though, this time being the man to get on the score sheet, as his goal is enough to give us a 1-0 win against Fulham at Goodison Park. Well, it's 4 wins out of 4 since the arrival of this young man in the January transfer window. Not only has he had an immediate impact on our squad and our starting 11, but he's also having an impact on our place in the Premier League table as we rise up to 6th place this season, our highest that we've been so far, and we're now just 2 points behind our arch rivals Liverpool and just 3 points behind Manchester United in the final Champions League position. From a shocking start to a tremendous amount of momentum that we find ourselves in, can we achieve the board's objective this season of qualifying for the Europa League? And could we even do one better and potentially qualify for the Champions League? But if you want to find out, you're going to have to join me for the very next episode, as that is that for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.